Now, hey, Damon, happy Monday. Thank God it's Monday. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great, Kurt. Happy to be here.
Hey, how was your weekend? Did you
It
survive?
was
You all right?
awesome. Awesome. We had sunshine in the Pacific Northwest, so it was a little chilly, but man, when we
Oh,
get 2
nice.
days of sunshine, it's a great time.
Trumpets are playing, angels are singing. It's just
Yep.
glorious. So, hey, I'm glad you had a phenomenal weekend. So, Damon, I don't what were you doing about a year ago this week? Do you have any idea what you were doing about a year ago this week?
No.
Well, Damon, I don't know if you're sitting down for this. We have a repeat offender on the program today. A year ago this week, we had the one, the only. Now, there's a little difference here. There's a little different, a little bit
Yeah.
happened in the past year. We're going to dig into this. But
Yep.
a year ago this week, we had the one, the only Jeanette Stevens. Now, Jeanette Stevens Cunningham. Jeanette, happy Monday, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Happy Monday to you both, Kurt, sorry, Damon. Happy Monday. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Just look, there's Damon. I don't know if you noticed, there's like a little that smile's just a little bit more
Yep.
radiant. There's a little bit more glow. She's got like the whole professional setup this year. But Jeanette, curious minds want to know there's a little difference in your name from a year ago to today. It looks like there's a hyphen Cunningham. Did something happen in the past year that we need to know about?
Yes, sir. I am a newlywed. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I was married in December. So really, really new.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Awesome.
uh, next chapter.
Next
Yep.
chapter. Well,
Yep.
believe it or
Next
not, so
chapter.
you were on a year ago this week, and I went back and just kind of like, hey, what did we chat about? So there was no football that weekend, and Jeanette, we were talking about the Olympics, and we were talking about
Yes.
skating and skiing, and so man, how fast like did a year just fly by or
Yeah, I
what?
It
did.
it does. I mean, time does not slow down for any of us. It goes by
Yeah.
so quickly. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So, guy, anybody out there, and boy, we'd love to have you drop a note, connect with Jeanette here. I've dropped her LinkedIn profile, dropped her website. She is the outreach program manager, marketing guru, marketing diva, as I like to call her. She's a
Oh,
marketing
yeah.
diva at GenEdge. GenEdge is the Virginia MEP Manufacturing Extension Partnership. We're going to dig into that. But Jeanette, before we go there, I have a question for you. I did not ask you last year. I'm going to ask you this year. And we actually did a live together in person. That was a wonderful experience. We're going to cover that today. But my first question for you today, who was your hero as a little girl growing up? As a little girl growing up, who, and I believe you're a Bronx girl, aren't you? Aren't you?
Yes, I'm from the Bronx.
So, little girl in the Bronx, when you were growing up, who was your hero?
I have to say, my hero growing up was my father. I mean,
Nice.
I'm a daddy's girl through and through. I watched everything he did. I snuck around corners, and I tried to emulate him in every way that I could. The best parts of him. He was definitely my hero.
That is awesome. And Damon as girl dads, is that
Yep.
like our favorite answer, Jeanette? So, we love hearing that answer.
Trying to do the best we can.
What's dad's name?
Yeah. My father's name was Joseph Stevens.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Well, hey, well, God bless Joseph. We want to give a big shout out for just producing such a wonderful, amazing person. And,
Thank
it's
you.
been an honor for me. We've become fast friends. You're on the program a year ago. And so I want to slide in. You and I had a great event. I know, like, pre-COVID, it was like not so much a big deal, but in COVID, you're like, when you meet somebody, when you take this virtual relationship and put it on in person, it was very special. You and I met together at Chicago at the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, the MEP National Convention Conference, and you did a lights out, just a dynamic program. You and I did a LinkedIn Live
Thank you.
together. But before we dig into that, could you just, for anybody out there that they're not familiar, haven't heard of the MEP, could you just share what is the MEP and just talk a little bit about GenEdge?
Yeah, absolutely. So the MEP, which stands for Manufacturing Extension Partnership, is a place where manufacturers, and I can speak for Virginia, but all across the country, and all 51 states, including Puerto Rico, this is the place that they can go to get resources and tools to help their businesses innovate, compete, and grow. So we have helped small and medium manufacturers with everything from growth services, processes, to workforce development, cybersecurity, you name it, supply chain management. We're there to assist manufacturers with the problems and issues that they need so that they can get what they need to grow and to develop from an economic standpoint and also from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had what was great, Damon. We had one of Jeanette's colleagues on the program, Scott, probably 2 years ago now. And Scott was a great, hugely successful entrepreneur, and he was a manufacturer. And he is on your team or I believe still on your team at GenEdge.
Yes.
And he came on the program and said, you know what? One of the things as a manufacturer, I wish I knew the MEP existed. So our goal is,
Yeah.
how do we help them stop being the best kept secret? So let's
Absolutely.
go here, Jeanette. So you've done amazing job, great, vast experience in marketing. And what's wonderful about the MEP network is just folks like yourself. There's hundreds and hundreds of, literally thousands of experts like yourself at the MEP network. Just, I know we hit it last year, but let's just do, we're gonna have some new people here today. Just share a little bit about your background, your superpowers, how you bring your passion for marketing from your previous walk of life into GenEdge, how you help manufacturers.
Absolutely. So, in my past life, I really can say that I started my career working for Yahoo Hot Jobs.
Nice.
And I worked with an amazing group of individuals. And it really set the stage for everything that I do today. Every career path that I've taken, because I have worn several hats. It's really helped to set the stage for that. And one of the things that I really appreciated that I never forgot was they would literally pull us off of the phones. And I don't know if anybody in the Yahoo family is listening to this right now, but I mean, they would literally pull us off the phones and we would have classes. So there was this continued education. It was never, well, you work here, that's it. You learn what we're going to teach you, and that's it. You grow within that. The idea was always learning. It was always continual learning, continual growth, and knowing and being comfortable with the fact that there is so much to learn. And at the time that I was working for Yahoo, digital marketing as we know it today was really emerging, and it was really getting its legs, and it was more so online advertising. And, I really had the opportunity to kind of see it develop and really learn how to utilize it as a form of communication, because this was a new form of communicating, with audience. So, we were kind of moving away from the traditional forms of marketing, like, dropping off a brochure or, printing out manuals, to leave behind. And we were going towards, turning that into digital and being able to kind of influence the hearts and minds of folks and saying that, I am still communicating with you. I still care about, your business, but this is a new way to communicate. This is a new way to stay connected. So that's just something that really stayed with me. I did work in logistics, and I did that for 5 years. I developed a lot of my account management, working in the tech industry, working in finance, working in logistics, and really focusing in on building those client relationships. But I have to say that, tech, marketing, communications, brand building was always, something that was special to me. It's always something that I had in my heart, and it was always something that I was able to go back to because it was something that I did well. And so all of that is what I take into the position that I have today. It's leaning on those skills, those foundational skills in marketing, in growth, in brand building, in account management, in customer service, and customer relationship that helped me to create some of the strategies or lean in on some of the strategies that I utilize today for GenEdge.
All right, Jeanette, I don't know if you remember from last year, we're taking a little moment of silence right there. So that was absolutely Brilliant. That was phenomenal. So much uncovered right there. Now,
Yes.
Damon, as juicy and as delightful and as powerful as that just was, picture capturing Jeanette in person, man. I'll tell you, like I had to turn up the pacemaker on like top notch to handle Jeanette because she is a powerhouse. Jeanette, what I absolutely love what you just uncovered with your background at Yahoo, you talked about how they would that continuing education, and then you also talked about communication. So two things that I like to really hit hard today: education and communication. Damon, we love that line is like, hey, you don't need to outspend your competition. How about if you out teach your competition? So Jeanette, at your workshop last year and how you help your manufacturers, you really help them. You're helping educate them, but you're also educating them on how to educate their own customers with their marketing message. Can you just talk a little bit for like a manufacturers out there where like, boy, website is brand new. This whole digital transformation is brand new, e-commerce, all that. Talk about like how important it is to help educate their customers front of mind for their marketing strategy.
And thank you for that. It's so important to really dig into education because education really is a foundation of trust, right? So one of the things that, I was able to hold with me and why I'm still talking about Yahoo so many years later is because of the trust that they have built with me and with other employees, that I've worked with. And it's that, education says that I'm not going to hold this knowledge away from you. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to keep it behind any walls. I'm not, going to charge you for all of this information. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to help you to understand why it is that I'm communicating this to you. I'm showing you that I understand what it is that you're asking for, and I'm showing you the solution. I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to offer this to you. And as I continue to, help in providing you with these resources and these tools that help to build your business, we begin to have this relationship where you are coming to me for that resourceful information. And I'm also sharing that. I'm also sharing that relationship with you as well, because I'm getting from you what you need. You're telling me what you need. You're not holding those things back from me because you trust that I am going to be able to handle that information with care and turn that into a solution that's going to, at the end of the day, help grow your business. So I think the basis of education really is in building that trust and building that relationship and saying, I'm not holding this back from you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you grow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Hey, we've got Diane Beyer here. She says hello. Diane, go Eagles. I know her Eagles won off to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So congratulations to everybody, all of our friends in the Philadelphia area and of course in Kansas City. So super excited for those folks. So Jeanette, let's keep this rolling. So at GenEdge, you guys are doing some really fun and exciting things. Again, if you guys just join us, please drop us a note. Let us know that you're out there. Connect with Jeanette. She's with GENEDGE, the state of Virginia, MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So we have a couple of things to talk about here. You have the GENEDGE Alliance.
Yes.
Can you please share what is this super exciting program, the GENEDGE Alliance?
Yeah, so the GENEDGE Alliance is a membership. So it's a free membership to small and medium manufacturers in Virginia. And it's a place where they can go to get resources and tools to help their business in any way that they need. So one of GenEdge's visions and mission is to be the #1 place for small and medium manufacturers in Virginia to innovate, compete, and grow. And so the GenEdge Alliance is basically that. It's a membership portal that has resources and tools like the Connects Marketplace that will help them with supply chain and building supply chain in Virginia. We also have blogs and articles, educational content that will help them, with any of the information that they may need to grow their business. We also have a podcast that we're doing. It's Manufacturing Now in Virginia. And that podcast is based off of information that's relevant and valuable to manufacturers, things that matter. So basically, it's a place where our small and medium manufacturers can go, or all manufacturers in Virginia can go to get the information that they need to help them grow. We also have a place where they can connect with experts as well. So it's not just about, what you can do self-paced. I did want to also bring in our Tooling You partnership. So we do have an online learning segment, and that is a place where you can go and get self-paced learning. You can also customize your learning and growth for manufacturing organization. But really, the GENEDGE Alliance membership portal is just a powerful resource for small and medium manufacturers. Is where they can go to get the information that they need. And you can do that by, connecting with an expert or just in a self-paced standard.
If you're cool with this, Jeanette, you know what? I'll pull it up real quick. I'll pull up your website.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
That cool? Okay.
Yep.
And just let me know if you guys, let's see, let's go here and here. Tammy, you think I'd be a master of this by now, right? So let's see.
Done it a time or two.
And how about, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So guys, again, thank you for joining us today. Happy Monday. Hope you had an amazing, wonderful, incredible weekend. Damon and I certainly did. And we were with the newlywed, the one and only Jeanette Stevens Cunningham. And Jeanette, so we're taking a look at GENEDGE Alliance right here. So just talk a little bit about what we're looking at. And again, for manufacturers. Now, hey, if you're coming to us from outside of Virginia, don't fret. You have an MEP near you. You want to contact your local manufacturing extension partnership. But Jeanette, just talk about for Virginia manufacturers, what's going on here when they connect and what does that look like when they reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're looking at right now is the I'd like to say newly minted genedge.org website. We did recently undergo a rebrand. One of the reasons why we went to a rebrand, and I just wanted to kind of back up the truck for that, is because, like we talked about earlier, education is really important, and building that trust with our community is also extremely important. And so we did some research, and we found that, well over 60% of manufacturers in Virginia were looking for ways that they could basically get information and resources that they needed, that they felt that they may not have readily available to them. And so the GENEDGE Alliance was born, and it was a place, and it is a place where they can go to get those resources and tools for free or at discount. So on the home page, manufacturers can click the Join the Alliance button, and that's the portal to get to all the resources and tools that we were talking about. So like the Connects database, marketplace, the blogs, as well as the learning management tools. And it's really simple. You just fill out the information here on the website, and you have access to all of this information. And it's right there at your fingertips. Obviously, of course, if you would like to speak to a person, or if you have additional questions, we have a place where you can connect with us really easy. We wanted to make sure that the language on our website spoke to specifically what it is that we discovered our audience needed. So it really took us kind of rethinking the way we were communicating with our audience. And, I can't say enough about the work that was put into the Alliance and the work that continues to go into the Alliance, and how, what you're seeing here, this isn't built in stone. So that's also something that is relevant in marketing. None of the strategies that we utilize or that I utilize is ever built in stone, because at the end of the day, I'm always learning from my audience. I'm learning from the community that I'm speaking to. And if there's anything that I see that needs to change any and all of this can be iterated. And I think that's what's so great about what we have here with the Alliance. We've taken everything that we've learned about our audience and we've created this amazing tool that will help them, and what we have seen is what they needed. So those four subjects here, these four categories, getting supplies, identifying ways to optimize processes, finding the workforce to get the job done, learning how to grow their companies. This is exactly what we have learned from doing market research. This is what our audience has said that they needed, and this is what we have created for them. And again, if we find that in any of this, as we're learning our audience and what they need, because this is a new tool, we can iterate any of this. So it's really important to sign up for the GENEDGE Alliance if you are a manufacturer in Virginia, because we're learning from you. We're learning from you. So just as you're learning from us, and we're giving you the information that you say that you're needing from us, we're also learning from you. So you're telling us what you need, and we're, hopefully giving that back to you.
And Jeanette, I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm a little forgetful. How much did you say it was? What was the cost here? I don't recall.
So this is free. It's free to sign up for the GENEDGE Alliance. There are tools. I do want to note that there are tools that are in the Alliance that are at discount, and those, there are a little star next to each of those where there is a discount if you are an Alliance member. But for the most part, all of this information here is free to access and free to use.
Absolutely. So, I want to break down a couple of things real quick here. And I love what you're saying is how and Damon, I can't see anybody. I'm just seeing her screen. So please chime in. But like from a website standpoint, Jeanette, we're always again, I'm going to talk about the program you did in Chicago. But, we talk about it with our manufacturers, you said, we're speaking their language. We're listening to their challenges. So right here at the top, you have your call to action, join the Alliance. Yep. You have it multiple times. You have a nice video, that's like your huge kind of hero image right here is a huge video breaking down the 4 buckets of their challenges, and then another then another call to action here, and then another opportunity of just walking through. Damon, what thoughts on your end?
No, I just think you can really tell that you took the feedback from what people needed and built this to answer their questions, get them the information to make an informed decision on this page, whether I should join the Alliance or not. Then I'm sure it continues on the Alliance is you can answer those 4 buckets and help them in each one of those buckets inside the Alliance with, it could be just information. It could be paid program. There's just so many different things that you can do. But these communities, building a community like this really allows people to get in and get answers. I mean, this is when people see this in manufacturers, as an old manufacturer, we didn't have this stuff before, right? But when you look in industries like SaaS and other ones, they have places like Reddit or some of these other online communities where they can actually ask a lot of questions, get answers from others in the industry that are peers or experts. And I really think that GenEdge is taking a big step forward here with this, because you're providing your constituents, the people that you need to help, with information that they need and can use. It's really cool. It's really cool.
And I'm really glad that you brought up, Reddit communities and other places where manufacturers will go to get information from manufacturers, and creating the content strategy for this website. And that includes the language that is here. That is one of the places, that I leaned on to kind of understand, okay, so what we're finding is that manufacturers are going to manufacturers for assistance. They're not necessarily going in some of the places that we may automatically think of top of mind. So how do we position our content in such a way that it builds that trust, and it says that, this is another avenue for you to go in order to get that valuable information. So a lot of that thinking was put into this. And I have to say that what the beauty of working with MEPs, manufacturing extension partnerships, is that in our organizations, we have manufacturers that work with us. So it's not like, this is just, kind of sterile, technical, general information. No, this is information that's coming from the field. And this is saying, again, this is a place that you can go to get information from manufacturers to manufacturers. So, and about manufacturing. So, that's what the idea was when we were creating this GenEdge Alliance. And as we continue to build the GenEdge Alliance.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
what I love, there's, combination things. And I've had the honor and privilege meeting a number of your teammates. So, again, Jeanette, if somebody's new to the MEP network, it's just like realizing, like we've had Scott on a program, and I've had a privilege of meeting Dean. As a matter of fact, I think I sat next to Dean at your workshop. And, the cool thing is just the enormous amount of talent, skills, expertise, experience, the passion of all your teammates of helping manufacturers, right? Can you let's give a little shout out to some of your teammates, or you want to just talk about, like, again, when a manufacturer out there, they connect with you and your team, what does that look like as they're connecting with different folks here that we're looking at?
Yeah, so right here, where you were, the industrial development team, these guys are your first arm. This is who you go to speak to get that expert information, or to ask questions about specific topics. These guys are experts in their field, and I can't say enough about the education and the experience that's backed here at GenEdge. I always, in our meetings, when we're having discussions, a lot of it is me just, kind of listening and learning from these guys, and all of the knowledge that they bring to the table. I can't say enough. I mean, you've got, obviously Bill, who is our executive director, and Tony, Dean, of course, Scott, Teddy, I mean, Josh, you name it. This is a powerhouse bunch of individuals, all that bring years and years and years of expertise and experience to the table. And, if you have a question about it, someone in this organization has an answer.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's great about the MEPs. I mean, the MEPs, there's just so much depth in the MEPs, and GenEdge is a great example of that.
Yeah.
And hey, Jeanette, I'm impressed. You even caught up your newlywed name. How's that? So I'm very impressed. You're on top. So, all right, let's come up here. So coming back to your website, and I hope you're cool. I didn't mean to go too deep here, but
it's fine.
right here you've got your podcast, you've got your manufacturing now. You have, for Tooling Mule, I know these guys, they were in Chicago at the MEP conference. If this is new to somebody, just talk a little bit about the resource and value that somebody would connect with the Tooling Mule team.
Yeah, so I mean, the simplest way that I can put it is, if you're utilizing a platform like LinkedIn, and you're using it for LinkedIn Learning, let's say, to get business acumen and to get business certifications and learn more about how you can boost your career through some of the classes and courses that are on LinkedIn Learning. This is kind of the same thing, tooling you for the manufacturing industry. And what's really great about the LMS that we have here is that this training is customizable. So depending on, a manufacturer can go in and they can look at over 400 courses that are available, and they can create a solution that works well for their organization. So it's not, again, it's not etched in stone. These are things that are bespoke. You can say that, for this particular group, I need them to take a couple of courses on additive manufacturing, or I'd like to learn a little bit more about Industry 4.0 or metal cutting, CNC, whatever it is. You can customize that for your group, and you can either reach out to us for that, for assistance in creating that customized solution, or you can go in on your own and you can do it. So that's
Wow.
I think that's the best part about this, is that, you know, you don't necessarily need to speak with someone in order to get some of these answers and some of these solutions. You can go in at your own pace and you can do this. Or like I said, you can reach out to one of the experts at GenEdge to help you.
Yeah.
Damon,
The
dude,
depth that here, the
look at
depth
this
here is
list.
really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like welding, shop math. I mean, like just, you know, in picture, you know,
Safety, yeah, robotics, name it.
75% of all manufacturers are 20 employees or less. I mean,
Yeah,
man, just, like let that sink in for a minute. You know, you're a manufacturer, you've got 10 employees, man, you're throwing on a different hat literally every hour on the hour, right? 1 minute I'm my own marketing department. Next minute I'm on the floor putting out a fire. Next minute I'm doing
Yeah.
HR. Next minute I'm doing finance,
exactly.
right? Next minute I'm doing healthcare, health insurance. And, you know, to cover all these topics is virtually impossible. But to have a trusted guide and an incredible resource like this, Jeanette, this is just such a powerful tool. Let's slide into our friends. I know, as a matter of fact, I want to get these guys on our program, Damon. You will love. I interviewed these guys live in Chicago, but Jeanette, just talk a little bit about the value here for Connects. Now, I know they're working with numerous MEPs. As a matter of fact, I was in Alaska, Damon, doing a program, and one of the folks from the program were up in Alaska. We did a program together, and they're doing a great job helping manufacturers through the MEP network. Jeanette, just share a little bit of what's going on here with the Connects marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Connects marketplace is a supply chain connector. You know, if you are a manufacturer and you're looking for a way to get supplies, or, you know, to get customers within the network, you have the ability to do that through the Connects marketplace. And what's really great about the Connects marketplace is that, you know, typically it's about $500 in order to look nationwide, you know, at other, you know, in order to connect with other suppliers,
Yep.
and get opportunities like that nationwide. But by joining the GenEdge Alliance and by signing up, you have up until March 1st to do so. You can get that for free. So you, as a manufacturer, would be able to search a nationwide database of suppliers in order to, you know, in order to find supplies all over the nation. So, you know, what's really great about this is that you can find that if you're looking for supplies that you may not have thought, you know, is in Virginia, you can go into Connects and find out that, hey, you know, I was looking elsewhere or overseas for a supply that this guy, you know, 50 miles down the road is actually manufacturing. So it's for economic development and for, you know, building the supply chain here, not just in Virginia, but nationwide. The Connects marketplace is a real eye opener, and it's a great place for manufacturers to go to find that. And what's good is that once you do sign up for the Connects marketplace, it's important to kind of fill out your capability statement. So that's one of the things that you do after registration. You know, you go in as a manufacturer, you fill out your full capability, because that will help you, as you know, connect with other suppliers and also to get them to connect with you. So it really helps to build your brand within the supply chain, as well as your business overall. So, and as you're where you are here, searching made easy.
Yep.
These are all the things that the platform allows you to search by. So you can search by certifications, equipment, materials, NAICS codes, products and services, small business designations, you name it. And all of these sections are places that you would want to fill out as a manufacturer when you do register, because the more information that you put into the tool, the better it is to connect you to other, you know, OEMs and buyers and suppliers in not just Virginia, but nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. And you said one thing there. a lot of people look on the other side of the globe for supplies that they probably can find in the county or the city
Yes.
next to them,
Yeah.
and without
Yeah.
even knowing. And that's why these tools are so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, when I was in Alaska, the gentleman gave, and I butchered the example, but it was something like, they were outsourcing, looking over, another, continent, Asia, for a product. And, and exactly as you said, Jeanette, 50 miles down the road was exactly what they were looking for. And it turned into like
Exactly.
a multi-million dollar, relationship with somebody that was nearby. They just didn't know. And the great thing is, Damon, we help, folks with like, search and like e-commerce and everything. This is such a powerful tool to have in your tool chest where Jeanette and her team, you have vetted partners, you have great resources here. It's just, and the goal is like, how can we make that manufacturer that's just stretched so thin? How can we make their life as easy as possible? So
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to be mindful of your time, man. I didn't even watch the clock, so I want to be.
Yeah.
Anything else? Should we hit community? Is there anything else that you want me to hit on the website before we step back?
Well, I mean, one thing that you did say that I did want to shine a light on again was the under 20 employee manufacturers. So that is our emerging business segment. And as you've stated, we found that a lot of manufacturers in Virginia, they are part of that designation. And so this is the perfect place for them to go in order to get, some of that assistance and some of that help. Like you said, if you're the HR manager and you're also doing marketing, well, where can I go to quickly get that that information that I need, without having to pull myself away from my daily duties, So this is that place. The GENEDGE Alliance is that place in order to get that help, get that assistance, and not necessarily, by taking extra time to do that, because it's self-paced and you can do it at your own pace and at your own time.
Yeah.
And just look at this lineup of all-star partners, from SBDCs to universities, community colleges, NIST, and just, all sorts of, just a great network throughout the great state of Virginia. So again, guys, just, and I love, again, from throwing our website hat on, call to action right there, join the alliance. So, I just love what you're doing. So guys, if you're a manufacturer out there, so many things, not only of thinking about what the MEP offers to you, but look at, Jeanette, I don't know if, like Damon and I always use that line, the cobbler's kid with no shoes. A lot of times as marketers, somebody might be, consulting folks on how to do things, but then you look at their own website and it's, they're not really paying attention. You're doing a phenomenal job of like really setting the standard of like making it easy for your manufacturer, and also showing your manufacturer, hey, this is probably how you want to speak and communicate to your customer and make your web presence as easy as possible to do business with you. So, hey, big round of applause. I'm going to give you, I'll stop sharing. I'm going to come back to you guys now. And so
good stuff.
Good
stuff.
All right. So I want to talk, I'll be remiss if we don't talk about your awesome workshop in Chicago. So Damon, you'll love this. So we're in this wonderful, amazing hotel downtown, right heart of Chicago. And Jeanette, was that hotel just spectacular?
It was amazing.
It was like, it was like old school Prohibition, 1920s Chicago, and so it was just a majestic place, huge ballroom. And so a number of folks that have been on the program, Paula from IMEC, we had Janelle from Magnet in Cleveland, we had Jeanette came on, Alyssa and Sammy Joe from Alaska, we had Renee from Purdue MEP, and all these amazing women in manufacturing at the MEP network. One by one, we just did a great little like impromptu on the spot little live jam session. And Jeanette, you were talking about the workshop that you gave. Man, it was packed house. People, a lot of great marketers throughout the MEP now, where several years ago, there were not a lot of marketers at the MEP network. Now we have rock stars and superheroes like yourself. Just talk a little bit, if you recall, I know it was a few months ago, but just talk about like some of the big points that you felt at that workshop, or some of the takeaways, or just share with anybody what you're thinking from your workshop in September.
So mine specifically, customer experience. Yeah. So thank you for that. I think for me, the biggest takeaway was really in building a communication style that is really dedicated towards the customer. And I think we hear that a lot. It's almost become a buzzword, but what does that really mean? What that really means is understanding first who your customer is, right? So what I've realized in, reading the brand guide for the MEP network, and then, kind of thinking about who the audience is for my specific MEP, GenEdge, I realized that the customer segment that we have is very it's big, and I don't mean big by just like a huge network. It's just that I have the customer that I'm speaking to, so the manufacturer, and then I have the customer that I work with, right? So we have our internal customers as well, and the internal customer, those are the RGMs. Those are the guys that are out there in the field and they are talking to manufacturers. So when I'm building a communication style, customer experience is all about saying, this is what your problem is, and this is the solution based off of what I'm hearing. And being able to communicate that in such a way that everybody is on board with it. So I can communicate externally as much as I want to everybody on the outside, but if my internal customers, my coworkers, if we're not all speaking the same language, then it's really difficult for anyone externally to be able to get on board with whatever it is the company is doing. So we all have to really understand, what is the goal? What is the collective goal here? And how are we going to get to it? What is the language? What are we going to talk about? How are we going to build these relationships? And one of the things that I really zeroed in on was Be Our Guest. So Be Our Guest is obviously a song from Disney's Beauty and the Beast. And and I talked about this because I was trying to find the simplest way that I could explain that means, what that means. And, in the song, Belle, she stepped into this castle, and she had this preconceived notion of what she thought was going to happen. And it was the castle's responsibility to make her feel comfortable, to say, okay, we understand that you're nervous. We get that you're scared, and that this is new. So we're going to take all of that and we're going to show you how we can make this a great experience for you. I understand, that you don't understand what an MEP is. I understand that you don't get how, we can help your manufacturing business. I get that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to make you my guest, and I'm going to speak your language. I'm going to talk to you the way I know that you will be able to ingest this, and then when you speak with people from the company, they're also going to speak the same language to you. We're all going to say the same thing. We're all moving towards the same goal. So I think at the end of the day, the biggest point that I was trying to make with that workshop was just understanding the customer experience. And, I always start everything off with grace. I started with grace because there's so many things going on, especially in marketing. It's so, in a lot of senses, it's really, it takes grace to say, this is the way we've always done something. We've always done it this way. And I'm kind of nervous about doing things in a different manner. And with customer experience, you're almost, doing things differently because you're saying that this is the way I'd like to do it. This is the way I've always done it. But my customer is telling me something else. And I have to have grace, and I have to trust that I'm taking my company in a new direction. I'm speaking a different language, but I have to trust that I'm speaking it the way they need it, So a lot of that is just, saying that this is scary for everybody. We're all nervous, we're all, kind of in this together. But at the end of the day, what's really important is that you're comfortable. and that you're getting everything that you need from us, that we're fulfilling the promise. We're saying that, we are the place to go to for innovation, for growth, for competitiveness, for technology, for all of those things, then we have to be able to make you feel comfortable with that. We have to trust that this is what you're saying that you need, and we're going to give that to you. So, it was just really about understanding and dissecting kind of the customer experience, and giving us as the company, or giving you, or whomever's company it is, just saying that I know it's scary, I know that it's new, but if your customers are saying that they need this, then it might mean that you should go in a newer direction, and everybody at the end of the day is trusting that we're moving towards the same goal. So I hope that makes sense.
It was awesome.
No words. That was Jeanette. That was just so wonderful. That was Damon. And again, just picture that in person. That was, oh my God, I could listen to you all day, Jeanette. That was just so good. I can't even unpack that one. Like, it's just like, listen to the customer. I guess, we'll just sum it up like this, Damon, be our guest. If you just like, let that stick in your head of like every customer transaction, every interaction, your website, like what Jeanette's done with the GENEDGE website, of just like really listening, understanding, speaking to the customer, from call to action buttons to answering their questions to, the services that they're now providing. It's just, listen and respond, be our guest. I absolutely love that. Jeanette, you have a couple open positions, as I understand at GENEDGE.
Yes.
Why don't we give a shout out there and just say, if there's anybody out there listening that happens to be in the great state of Virginia and is looking to join an amazing, incredible team, Jeanette, what's going on there?
Yeah, so we're looking right now. We have a contract position open for emerging services program director. So that is someone that would be responsible for helping our emerging businesses, under 20 manufacturers, with the questions that they may have. To help them along with the resources and tools that we have in the GENEDGE Alliance. You have questions about LMS. You have questions about the Connects Marketplace. The emerging services program manager would be the perfect person to go to. So we are actively looking for someone in that position. We're also looking for a regional growth manager in our Region 3 section of Virginia. And that's, really helping, working directly with manufacturers in that region of Virginia. So we are looking for someone there. And we're also looking for a IT and cybersecurity professional as well to come on board, business services director. So, and everything that we do, we have experts in place that are there to help our manufacturers with the questions and issues that they have, so that they get on to solutions and building their businesses and being successful. So, we do have, if you go to our website, you'll be able to learn more about those positions. There's a post actually today about some of those open positions. So definitely check out our LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter page, and you can go directly there to learn more about how to apply and come on board.
Awesome.
Well, Jeanette, I have to say, we interviewed tons of different MEPs on the program here, and had the honor and privilege of working with a number. And boy, you are certainly leading the charge as far as your GENEDGE Alliance, the podcast. I know you did your first LinkedIn Live last month, and that was a huge hit. And I know a couple of the folks that were on that program. And so I kudos to you. And it's just such a gift and blessing to have your expertise, your superpowers, part of the MEP family, the network, because you are just truly elevating things. And so it's great to have a front row seat as you're, I might be president of the fan club for Jeanette here, Damon.
Yeah.
So maybe
I appreciate
me
that.
and her son and her new husband, one of us three, right, Jeanette, right?
Yes.
Right. Thank
So
you.
we'll wind down. I know you're super busy. My last question for you today is, before we wind things down, I think we covered most. So, Jeanette, my question to you when I opened up was, your hero was Dad Joseph, was your hero as a little girl growing up in the Bronx. Okay.
Yep.
Now, for 2023, I know you are just so ambitious, aggressive. You're taking Gen Edge to the next level. You have aggressive, audacious goals for 23. Who or what is your inspiration as you're just this driving force at Gen Edge? Who or what is your inspiration?
Well, I would still say that, I take a lot of what my father taught me, a lot of that foundation, a lot of those values. But I have to say that, what's beautiful about all of this is that we have alliance in our name. So it's everybody that I work with. They're all inspirational to me. And I have to say that, like, I really and truly work with a great group of folks. And I've been able to learn so much. So taking it back to the very beginning of this conversation, one of the things that I love so much about working with Yahoo was not just the people, but the fact that I learned so much, that they were willing to invest in my education. And I feel like I'm finding the same thing here with Gen Edge. I work with a really great group of people and I learned so much from them. And I think that's really important in everything that I do, and everything that we do. It's learning doesn't stop. It continues. And that's one of the foundational teachings that my father always taught us. We were raised with books on books on books and books. And I can remember whole summers where I didn't go outside. I would stay inside and just listen to my father talk. I kid you not. I mean, he would talk about all sorts of subjects, everything. And I'm a learner. I'm a lifetime learner. And any situation that I'm in, where I can learn and grow is important to me, because I don't ever think that it stops. I think it's something that's fluid. And there's always room for iteration. And I'm always looking for ways to gain more knowledge, because knowledge is power. And I think, that just bringing it all back to the Gen Edge Alliance, I mean, that's what we've done. We've taken and we're continuing to take all of those resources, all that knowledge and all that wisdom, and we're putting it in a place where other manufacturers can access it, and can take it and can use that to expand and grow their own businesses. So to answer your question, I mean, it started with my dad, and I actually lost my father in 2021. But that foundation is there, that foundation is there. He's still my hero. But I would say that my heroes today are just, the people that I encounter, the people that I work with, the network that I have. I have a great network of folks, that I've leaned on and support me. And, that's what propels me forward. As long as I can learn, as long as I can continue to gain knowledge and wisdom, then I'm good. I understand that things don't just stop. They continue. They're fluid.
Jeanette, that was like our third, fourth mic drop. I lost count, Damon. I'm not sure where we're at. So first off, our thoughts and prayers to you, Jeanette, with Dad Joseph. I know he's looking down on you, just beaming with pride, and just looking down on his baby girl, and just what a huge, monstrous success that you've become. I'll tell you, you are just such a gift, breath of fresh air. I cherish the friendship that you and I have developed, and just you drop. Boy, if anybody listen to this, please hit rewind. Knowledge is power. You've covered things from the grace. And what I love is Damon, we had a wonderful guest that introduced the idea of saga, the organizations, the companies that really separate themselves from the others. They've created a saga that the rest of the company buys into, and it's a culture of integrity. And Jeanette, what you're describing, I feel like Bill and your leadership at Gen Edge has just created this saga, and I'm getting chills right now. Like your enthusiasm is just like popping through the computer of just the passion of trying to help manufacturers just be more competitive on a global scale is just so admirable, so exciting, and so inspirational. That's why we call this show Manufacturing Monday Motivation. And boy, you absolutely crushed it with motivating everybody out here.
So, and can I say one one more thing. What's
please.
really, really important, because I want to hold on to that point. I think what's really important, the reason why you can feel the chills, and the reason why there's so much, behind this, is because I truly love what I do.
Right.
So, I definitely, just want to state that I love what I do. So because I love what I do, I put everything I have into it. And I can say that about everybody that I work with. We love what we do, I mean, we push through the frustrations, the obstacles, and the challenges, because at the end of the day, what's really important to us is the manufacturer. So I definitely, just wanted to put that out there.
Awesome.
Well, with that, I'm going to invite anybody listening out there. If you've been sitting for I don't know how long, I invite you, welcome you, encourage you. Why don't you give a stand up and give a round of applause to our amazing, incredible, wonderful guest today, Jeanette Stevens Cunningham, the newlywed from Virginia. So, Jeanette, thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your passion today. Boy, appreciate you. You are welcome anytime and to come back. Guys, connect with Jeanette here on LinkedIn. Find her on YouTube, go to GENEDGE. And if you're a manufacturer in Virginia, boy, do yourself a favor and connect. If you're coming to us from outside another state, boy, reach out to us and we'll get you connected with your local MEP. Guys, go out and have an amazing, incredible week. Damon, we love the line, radical gratitude. Jeanette, I'm in deep radical gratitude to you and to everything that you do and spending time with you today. Guys, go out and just be an incredible inspiration to whoever you encounter, just like our dear friend Jeanette. Damon, any parting thoughts as we close out today?
No, I'm just, you can tell when you love what you do, it shows through.
It just shows through. So, guys, have an amazing, incredible week. Damon, I've got a big surprise. We have got a great guest on Friday. I'm going to see you this Friday. Man, I can't wait. Jeanette, hang out with us for 1 second. And guys, have an amazing, incredible day.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye.
See ya.